Hi there, this is called the Foldesy trap, and apologies for any unintentional mispronunciations, and it's from the game Foldesy against Negyesi in Budapest 1928. It's in the Queen's Gambit exchange variation. White opens d4, black d5, and knight f3 is met by knight f6, and now c4, the Queen's Gambit, which is declined with the orthodox defense e6, knight c3 and knight bd7. And in this common position, white goes for the move c takes on d5, the exchange variation of the Queen's Gambit, a variation which Garry Kasparov tinkered with on occasion. After e takes on d5, the recapture, white plays queen b3 and immediately eyeing up the pawn on d5, as well as keeping a watchful eye in many variations on b7, and also an indirect attack behind the pawn on f7. So black's going to defend d5 naturally with c6, and now the move e4 is a naturally aggressive move in this not uncommon position, although both Karpov and Piquet preferred here to play bishop to f4, and Keith Arkle tried bishop g5. But after the move e4, interesting position. One of the Polgar sisters here played knight b6, and perhaps one of the reasons that e4 wasn't played by Karpov and Piquet is because after knight takes on e4, black certainly isn't doing too badly at all. I'm sure black has more than equalized. But also interesting is the move d takes on e4. It looks strange and counterintuitive, but it actually can give black a decent game. White's going to continue with bishop c4, which is targeting the pawn now on f7, and black's defense here is perhaps hard to find. The move knight d5, offering up a pawn after taking on d5. If knight takes on d5, then black doesn't recapture the knight on d5, rather can take the knight on f3, and that's going to be adjudged at more or less equal. Also, if white prefers not to play knight takes on d5 and goes for knight to g5, keeping the pressure, then black can defend adequately with knight on d7 to b6, and again everything is covered. Black's doing okay. If instead of knight d5 black goes for queen to e7, then things haven't turned out too well for black in this position, and how he's going to get punished. Knight g5, again putting a third piece hitting f7. Now if knight d5 is played, it's a little bit too late, because bishop takes on d5 is met by c takes on d5, and now knight takes on d5 hits the queen as well as c7. So if the queen goes back to d8, if the queen goes to d6, then the bishop's going to be coming out, and the queen's in trouble. So queen d8 is met by knight c7 anyway, check. If queen takes on c7, then we're going to have queen taking on f7 is going to be very close to a mating attack. So if king to e7, now queen takes f7, drives the king out to d6, bishop f4, check. The king is going to move over now. Well, if it moves over to the c file, then the rook on a1 is going to join the party. So knight interposes on e5, but the rook joins the party anyway, covering the c file and threatening to take on e5, and that's certainly a mating attack for white. So this has been the Foldesy trap, taken from the game Foldesy against Negyesi, Budapest 1928. It's in the Queen's Gambit exchange variation. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.